Okay. All right. Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are in here. Last week what happened? It was the whole big thing. It was the big thing last week when Sheree, Phaedra, and Portia sat down to have a conversation and talk. Sheree, being nosy, ain't got nothing to do. Looking for a storyline. That's what Sheree does. Y'all know she got to pay that highest mortgage. Who knows how much it is? Like for real, no joke. Um, she by Sheree. Chateau Sheree. Can y'all imagine that light bill having to light up that whole house, the whole garage, the whole attic, the whole basement, all them rooms, all them bathrooms, child cheese, living room, dining room, patios, balcony. I can be bothered for 5 minutes, really, and it's just you in there, and you don't even want Bob there. You need somebody there. I wouldn't want all that house by myself. That's no. Who am I trying to impress? But obviously, she's trying to impress people and everybody. I mean, honestly, if I get a house that big, I just plan on moving my close loved ones in, just so everybody can be together. But of course, that wouldn't work either because everybody wouldn't get along. They get along, family get along for a minute, but not too long. Eventually some shit gonna come up. It's just like, oh hell, some shit that happened 2 weeks ago. They're gonna bring it up. But anyway, that was that whole thing that happened last week. And then apparently Phaedra alleged to the fact that apparently Candy and Shamia's messing around. That both Todd and Candice, you know, beat to me Shamia. Now Shamia is she came in as Portia's friend. Y'all might remember her last season, on season 8 when Candy kicked her off the boat. Portia's friend, and then they all went to wet Miami together, and they was all chill, and Kenya didn't like her, yada yada. But anyway, but apparently nowadays she's closer to um who she's closer to. Nowadays she's closer to Candy, it seems. So I guess she's kind of in between Candy and Portia. She was actually last week in a scene with Portia, Shamia. So, apparently Phaedra was just like, yeah, they sleeping with Shamia. Shamia sleep with everybody. Shamia's married. I believe Shamia is a singer as well, entrepreneur, whatever. She never really became a housewife for whatever reason, but she's just a friend of. But apparently that's who Candy and Todd got a whole select sex shop and sex slave store and a dungeon, and they tie Shamia ass up on the weekends, and there you go. I don't too much believe it, but I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked that Candy, like a little pussy, a little pussy on the side. I wouldn't be shocked. Come on, Candy Coated Nights. I mean, hell. Um, and some people are into that whole threesome thing, or bringing another partner into their relationship and all that. I've never been in a relationship, but I don't think I would do that. I don't give a damn if it was their birthday. Um, I'll just get your gift. But another person is not going to be the gift. God no, unless I'm bringing flying your mama into town or some shit. Like no, because I feel like once you introduce that into your relationship, who knows where it can go after that. They might feel like, oh shit, well they cool with that. They cool with I didn't know they was cool. They up with bringing another person into a relationship. Once you do that, all bets are off, in my opinion, because your partner is gonna go off sneaking around and thinking that it's cool to sleep with just anybody because you brought this person in, or continue to sleep with that person. Then they start to get closer and have a connection, and your ass is left out to dry. But you can't be that mad because you invited that individual into your relationship. So I mean, it just can get too messy and too sticky, and I ain't got time for that. The only thing that I like messy and sticky is honey buns, and of course tea sometime with honey. Y'all have to try hot tea, honey, and Disaronno. So anyway, this episode started off. with Kenya and Cynthia. They went to go get their dog groomed or whatever the hell. Um, Cynthia brought her dog Bailey, and Cynthia and Kenya brought her two little annoying ass dogs. That Matt got her, Big Daddy Matt. Um, they watching the dog shooting the shit, yada yada. Cynthia asked about Matt. Kenya was just like, well, my dad has came into town, and he basically read Matt and basically was like, both of y'all need therapy, both of y'all crazy. And I did like the fact that Kenya's dad was very much so just wasn't on her side because it's his daughter. He literally was just like, no, this is what it is. Both of y'all are wrong. Both of y'all need to get y'all life together. And I'm not finna, just cater to you because you're my daughter. Like, if you're wrong, you're wrong. And he basically gave Matt some homework and Kenya some homework. Both of them gonna actually do their homework? No, of course not. Because Matt is a lunatic and immature, and just ain't got no sense. And Kenya is very self-absorbed, and she feels like she knows everything. She feels like she's right, and so there you go. It's not gonna work. I don't know what the hell they're doing together anyway. But I do realize why Kenya won't let Matt go is because she probably can't find nobody else that'll pay her any much attention. Not because she can't get a man, because she's a beautiful, successful woman, but it's because she's a little ticky ticky boom, and people know that, and she, can tend to come off very, I guess bougie and tend to talk down to people. I'm sure, and like we've seen in the past, start shit and then run. Now, just to let y'all know, in case y'all didn't know, I am a part of Team Twirl. However, I'm not so into it to the point where I can't read Kenya when I need to read Kenya. Like, I'm a huge fan, if you guys know this by now probably, that I'm a huge fan of Mariah Carey. I'm a lamb for life, always and forever will be. But when she fucks up, she fucks up. Like this past New Year's Eve special. Make sure you guys go and watch that video. It's called Chalaki News number 13, I believe. It says it's Mariah Carey and Kim Burrell. Come have a seat or some shit. But y'all just go to my videos and y'all will see it. It's like, what, the third video from this one? Something like that. Anyway, so yeah, they're talking, and Kenya also informs Cynthia that Peter reached out to her. Now Peter has a restaurant in restaurant bar lounge whatever in North Carolina. It's called Bar One, I believe, or Bar None, or The Bar, Bailey's Bar, Cynthia's Bar, somebody's bar, Jamaican bar, whatever the hell it's called. Actually, my mom has a friend who has a cousin that actually went there to Charlotte. And they say it's really nice, and they took a picture with Peter and all that good stuff. So I was like, that's cool. I might pooch on through Bar One, one day. Get me a good old drink and, fuck it up. Maybe I'll see Peter bald-headed ass, take a picture with him. I think he's, a trip. And we shade the kids on here, all those vloggers or whatever. But, I ain't got nothing personally against any of these people. I wasn't fucking none of them. So it is what it is. Ain't nobody wrote the kids no check. So Cynthia was a little shocked by Kenya's news because she was like, damn, I had no idea about this. And Peter, he didn't bother to invite me. Why would he invite you, beloved? She was just like, okay, well, thank you for telling me, and pooch it on through. So we go right on over to Candy's house, and with Todd trying to find his sharp shit to where the Peter's opening. Now Peter done invited Todd and Candy. Peter done invited Todd and Kenya, my bad. And also Candy, but Candy couldn't go because she has her own thing that we're gonna talk about later. So Candy helped him pick out the outfit to wear to Peter's opening and all that good stuff. So what happened then was Candy and Todd, they sit down on the couch and they have a conversation. and they're talking about everything that happened last week. That basically Portia was defending Phaedra and saying that Candy, you was wrong for alleging that Phaedra was fucking somebody while Apollo wasn't in jail yet. That Mr. Chocolate was actually real and all that kind of stuff. Candy basically said she don't give a damn. You was a bobblehead. You and your friend Frack. And I don't care really. And Phaedra said all this kind of stuff about me and yada yada. Here's my whole thing on this whole situation. First of all, it's unfortunate that Phaedra and Candy will never be friends again. But some people are in your life for a season. Some people are in your life for a reason. Oh, come on, rhymes. Tic tac toe. 3 in a row. Peanut butter knuckles. Don't you try me, sucker. Does that rhyme? Knuckles, sucker. No. I'm not a raptress. I'm just not. I sing, I write a little bit, little toot toot, little whoop whoop. Sometimes they come out good, sometimes they're not. Whatever. I got to hit up Escape and find out what performing arts she went to school for, because that worked for her. Because Candy will always have checks coming in for the songs she's written. Most famous song that she's written, No Scrubs, TLC. Anyway, and she also wrote for Mariah, I think Nippy one time. Candy got some credits. Candy got some things going on. It's interesting. Candy is probably the most paid housewife, but she's so like chill and humble. She don't really like throw that up in people's faces. But anyway, back to this whole thing. How I feel about this whole situation is that Phaedra probably was messing around with somebody when Apollo was out of jail, of course. I mean, hell, I'm sure he was doing his own thing. I mean, is it, petty, tick for tat? Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. But now we see how reckless and shady and ain't shit Apollo is, engaged to somebody while he was in jail. What the hell is wrong with this pickle brain heifer bringing her daughter in there to see Apollo? He ain't the daddy. It's just a mess. Y'all Google the kids. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's going to unfold on Housewives eventually at some point later on the season. But anyway, Todd was just like, Portia ain't got nothing to say because she'll fight a bitch over anything. Of course, it's going to take up for Candy, yada, yada. Candy was just like, you know what? I just don't care. Phaedra done said stuff about me. I done said stuff about Phaedra, yada, yada. So, what else happened? Portia, she is, moving out of her house, and, she's moving into another house. I guess that house was, too much, rent, lights, etc. Everybody gets the memo but Sheree. As much shit as people talk about Kenya, I think Kenya can afford her place. Now, Sheree, on the other hand, okay. So, Portia, she decided to move into her mama's house until, she get her own place and get her shit situated. Mama been doing something with her boyfriend, had whipped cream out and strawberries and peaches in a can, and it was the full. I was like, okay, Mama, do your thing. Mama need love too. So Portia, she actually invites her guy over. What is his name? Is his name Todd? Yeah. Portia invites Todd over, which is her boo from back in the day. They done reconnected. Reunited, and it feels so good. Talking to me, baby. They're reunited. And Portia actually sneaks the guy in. It's her mama's house. Sneaks him in, takes him upstairs, like a little horny teenager. She is lighting newspaper and performing this whole voodoo ritual and shit. He was just like, what the hell going on here? She was just like, oh, I'm just trying to set her mood. He was just like, what the fuck? So she lighting candles and shit and burning incense and pouring wax on his chest and all kind of shit. And then she ends up falling off the bed. He's so silly and giggly, just like her. They're a match made in heaven, and there you go. We're done with Portia. Now, Sheree, I hope it works out for Portia. I really do. Sheree, let's see. Sheree's basically, she has this novel, this tell-all novel, that she's trying to give. I put it when she was talking about it. It reminded me of y'all remember The Best Man with Morris Chestnut, Nia Long, Terrence Howard, Sanaa Lathan, Monica Calhoun, all them legendary black cinema, darling. Um, when Harper, which is Tay Diggs' character, he wrote a tell-all book about all his friends, and they didn't find out until they all read it, and it was just like, oh, Brittany is about me, Keisha's about me, Tyrone, you was writing about me, yada yada. And y'all remember it was the whole tea when he put in there that he slept with Morris Chestnut wife, which was Monica Calhoun. They had a sexual relationship, and Morris Chestnut and Tay Diggs was best friends. Y'all remember that? It reminded me of that when they was talking about it for some reason. But Sheree is writing a tell-all book, and it's about all her tea, all the drama that she has on everybody. They showed a scene of Nene stripping on the stripper pole, and basically she has a character called Paris, and she is a former stripper, and she's trying to get her life together now, yada yada. So everybody immediately thought it was about Nene, maybe. I don't necessarily think Nene can like sue her for like what defamation of character or something. I don't think she can if she, necessarily can't prove it. But I feel like this little book is gonna get Sheree in trouble. And I'm all here for it. And Sheree just looking, she just itching for a storyline, itching for a storyline. Sheree also meets up with Bob. They go to this like extreme fitness class where white people just jumping up and down off of buildings and walls and shit, and she think that her old ass can do it, and so she goes and gets on the monkey bars, and her and Bob, she invites Bob there. One thing I didn't appreciate was how Sheree was talking about Bob. Oh, he need to lose at least 50 pounds before he come and try to talk to me and all. Sheree, child, bye. Because at one point you had babies with that man, and you still have kids by that man, and at one point you found him attractive, or you at least found his money attractive. So shut up. Not that like you too good. Child, bye. You was sitting on that dick just like the other hundreds of women that he was messing with. So child, bye. Has to earn her trust and her love. Now I'm not negating the fact that that woman have been through a lot with him. I'm just like, don't act like you better than people now. Like, stop. Because he still had money coming in when you still scratching for coins before you got back on the show. So stop it. Humble yourself, sis. Humble yourself in your blonde hair. That blonde hair on Sheree is kind of growing with me. It's kind of growing on me a little bit. It's just something with it. It's just too humpity dumpity or something in her confessional. It's just like a big ass hump or chunk right here, and then it's just like flat right here. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if it's clip-ins. I don't know if it's a sew-in. I don't know if it's a wig. I don't know. But anyway, they had that whole scene, and Sheree met up with her, the lady who's helping her with the book to put the whole book out, and it sounds juicy. I might actually buy the book, because I love to sit and I actually do like to read. I haven't read in a long time. I used to win all kind of awards and shit for reading, like back in elementary school. Some of y'all ain't know about me. But once I hit high school, I was done with that shit. I was just like, I'm so ready to go. I can't stand none of y'all. The kids was bullying me a little bit, slightly. How did I end up on this tangent? Anyway, it is what it is. It's the T, and the D's are on though. So anyway, that's pretty much it for Sheree, and hopefully everything works out for Sheree, yada yada. Speaking of going back to Portia, did y'all know about the whole thing that happened with Cordell and Portia and Cordell alleged like little tape that was released when he showed his dick and his ass apparently. Funky Dineva was the first person I think to leak the video. It's just he's obviously on camera with somebody, and he shows his dick and then he turns around and shows his ass, and apparently they were saying that it was to a man. A guy had came out, said it was sent to him about this whole thing been floating around since the 90s about Cordell being gay. And he blamed Portia for the whole thing, and apparently Portia had a conversation with him and said be ready for war. I don't know, who knows it. These people will do anything for attention. When I tell you, I thought Cordell was gone from like the news. Like he keeps popping back up like a chia pet. I don't know what the hell is happening. I don't know who's telling the truth, and I really don't care. But Everything that's done in the dark will come to the light eventually. So you might as well just keep it real from the beginning, and whoever you lose is whoever you lose. Hell, we were born alone, most of us, unless we're twins or triplets or Kate and John and them. Or, I mean, hell, just move on, everybody. Live life. Live in your truth so can't nobody use your truth against you. How about that? So anyway, going back to, okay, I'm done with them, done with Portia, officially done with Shireen. Going back to let's do Candy. So Candy has an up and coming event, basically a sex toy convention with all the people that work with her on Candy Coated Nights. Um, and that whole moment, not Candy Coated Nights, that was a show on oh my gosh. You know the dildo line, the dicks, child, the dicks that vibrate, the dicks that play her old escape songs, the dicks, you know, with all the people that, help work that out with her and all that kind of stuff. This lady that came up to her, who works with Candy, she was just like, we got a new line for lesbians. Basically, while one is getting the pleasure, the other one is getting the pleasure. It's two dicks on the ends or whatever the hell. And it's a goop and scoop kind of situation for all her lesbian clients or contributors or consumers, I guess. That's a better word. Um, which is very interesting because that just alludes to that just, further makes you think that Candy might be bi or might be into women or whatever, like Phaedra said last week on the show and all that kind of stuff. So I was just like, okay, they're so shady. All their little, small little things that, it's easy to miss. Um, so anyway, Candy, she has this guy that used to work with her. His name is Johnny. Johnny used to work with Candy. He has his own. He had his own separate business, but he also became like Candy's event planner, personal assistant, sous chef, pooper scooper, whatever the hell, everything. And he's been working with them about like 3 or 4 years. Now, one thing I forgot to mention when Candy and Todd was talking earlier at home, that basically Johnny had left something on Instagram. Well, it was something like, once a bitch, always a bitch, and one minute you in there, the next minute you out. You think you got a friend to help you, but they backstab you, yada yada. Y'all know the whole tea. And so Candy didn't like that, so Candy pulled Johnny off to the side because Johnny was working on this event. Now, Candy and Johnny don't do business together. They had to fire him, or Don Juan. Candy put Don Juan up to fire Johnny because Johnny wasn't really doing his job. He was, dropping the ball a lot. Like I said, Johnny has his own business. So he was, trying to handle his own business and do Candy's business at the same time. And oftentimes Candy business wouldn't go well because he was, handling his own shit. Basically trying to do too much at one time when he should have chilled out. So Candy put him off to the side about the Instagram post, and she was just like, "Can I talk to you?" And Johnny was just like, "Yeah, you can talk to me." She was just like, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is this. Like, I saw this on Instagram, and I'm trying to figure out like what is this about. Like, I don't know." And then Johnny was just like, well, basically, I just didn't like how basically you fired me, how the whole thing happened. We should have had a conversation about that. Kendall was like, first of all, I don't have to have a conversation with you about nothing. I don't need to do that. Don Juan was the one that fired you anyway. So did you let Don Juan know? Don Juan walks his ashy ass over there and has a conversation. Of the Candy Coated clique. Y'all know how it is. Once you mess with Candy, here comes the rest of them. Once karma get in your face, here comes 3 more people out of nowhere. Here comes the aunts, everybody. I'm just like, I can't. So Don Juan was just like, you didn't have this issue with me. Like, you didn't say nothing to me about this whole situation. But Don Juan, actually, he wasn't a dick necessarily to Johnny. But Candy was the one that was turning up at her event. And she was just like, no, that's not even the case. And, I don't have to tell you a motherfucking thing. I don't care nothing about the money. But you was still getting my check. You know what? I'm gonna take my fake ass money and I'm gonna go on. Y'all know when Candy argues and upset, she starts to sweating and she got that sling back ponytail, so and she always sounds like she finna cry when she get mad, so it's just a whole lot. Candy ended up walking off looking like the coven. And Johnny was just like, okay. So Johnny tooted and pooched on his ass on the way to Phaedra's office. Phaedra sitting in there, the receptionist coming there and tell Phaedra Johnny looking for you. She was like, who the hell Johnny? So Johnny came around sharp as a tack up in Phaedra's office. Sharp as a tack. And Phaedra was just like, oh, you sharp, you casket sharp, look at you. So Johnny is kind of looking for a lawsuit and he wanted to, know his options and everything. We find out that Johnny done sometimes put in 80-hour weeks in a week. He's done like 80 hours for Candy. It's been constant nonstop. He has pay statements, pay stubs, whatever, from Candy, and it's been like $500. And Phaedra was just like, okay, well, is this for a 2-day? Is this for a 2-day work day? He was like, no, it's for a week, child. And she was just like, he was like, sometimes I did a whole bunch of stuff for her. I even planned the event. I believe he worked on Candy's wedding as well. He was like the event planner or whatever, because this, what his business is on his own, separate from Candy. And Phaedra was just like, damn, slavery is old. She was like, they running a damn plantation there. And Phaedra was just like, I've never worked for Candy before, but I have worked for Todd, and I wouldn't send nobody to Todd. All this, but one thing Phaedra did, which I respected, was that she just wrote down a list of names of people that he could talk to about this situation, because she don't handle that. She don't handle, this kind of situation. So she gave him a list of names, and there you go. But even her doing that is going to be an issue. Everything is just furthering, digging Phaedra and Candy's relationship in the hole. They're never going to be friends again. All these little situations is just the fool and the goop. So anyway, we're going right on along to Cynthia and Kenya. So Kenya ended up inviting Cynthia to Peter's event, even though Peter didn't invite Cynthia, because Kenya was just like, I don't want to go without you. So, get your good shit on and we gonna go. So Cynthia and Kenya, they arrive in North Kakalaki. And they're like in the hotel room or whatever. She gets a call from Matt, or a text from Matt, and Matt, she calls Cynthia out because Cynthia was getting ready to get dressed, and Kenya was like, "Look at this video." He actually posted a video, I believe, on Instagram saying that, I was gonna show up to Peter's event for his opening of his restaurant, but guess who stopped my tickets? It was Kenya Moore. And, Matt's just, doing all kinds of shit. He texted her, was just like, I don't want to see you with another man. I don't want to see you with another dog. I don't want to see you plant another tree. Like, I don't want to see any of that. Like, you better play nice and be humble, or else, just threatening her and all that kind of shit. Back shit crazy. So anyway, Kenya, I guess she's still getting ready, but Cynthia, she arrived kind of early to Peter's event, so she walked in with this clean-ass cream-colored dress and showed her body, pow, pow, pow. Cynthia snatched always. Todd is there with Peter. Peter was just like, damn, you looking so good, looking like a dreamsicle and all that stuff. Cynthia, she pulls Peter off to the side, and she was just like, you know what, I have, something to say to you. I don't know if Kenya's coming, so I might need that fee, because I might have to, open up for you and be the MC. Because, Peter had Kenya be the hostess of his event, of his opening of his restaurant. I'm sure I already said that. So Cynthia was just like, yeah, your boy Matt, he losing it, he going crazy. So cut from that scene, they show the parking lot, and Kenya's driving up with her driver. She's in the back. And Matt's pulling up at the same time. They good on editing. And Matt was just like, before Matt walked up, before the guy walked up, Kenya informed the driver, was just like, this dude dangerous, like, keep him away from me. So what happened was, I'm assuming that, well, at least Matt said that the driver like grabbed him, and then Matt punched the guy and walked off or whatever. So who knows exactly what happened, but Peter ended up calling Todd. Todd and Peter ended up calling Matt, and Matt was just like, I had to hit that nigga in the face because he grabbed me, and then I punched his ass and all that kind of stuff. You know, the driver was just trying to protect Kenya, I'm sure, from that lunatic Matt. Um, and you know, Peter ended up getting Kenya out the back, and they ended up going into the event. And Kenya was just like, "I'm just done with this whole situation. I don't know what to do." Cynthia was just like, "Bitch, you just need to let it go." And we all feel like you need to let it go. I don't feel like Matt is a terrible person, but he is a little bit unstable. But you know, he has a reason to go off. I'm sure, because I'm sure you give him a reason to go off, Kenya, because you are a troublemaker and you do shit, little sneaky, you know, little small shit, and that fuck with his head. I'm sure you know that boy ain't right. So hell, they do need to break up Kenya and Matt and go their separate ways and just I don't know, go tootsie roll with somebody else. But I heard Kenya, I heard Matt got somebody else apparently, and I saw a picture of her. She looks the fool, but you know that ain't my business. Whatever, he like what he likes. It's a downgrade from Kenya though. I don't know. It's all alleged, darling. So that's pretty much it, except for the fact that Peter, you know, everything was over with. I guess, you know, Kenya hosted the event and everybody had a good time at the bar. So once it was over with, Peter and Cynthia was talking, and Peter was just like, you know, I stay about 30 minutes away from here. And Cynthia was just like, okay. She had her purse. She was just like, okay, all right. It's a little awkward. And then Peter was just like, yeah. He was like, okay, well, I can check you later. I guess he thought he was going to get some pussy. But Cynthia Bailey is truly over Peter, and I'm so proud of her with that. Next week, it looks like Kenya and Cynthia trying to move into Candy's place. Like, what the hell? You know, Cynthia's place ain't ready yet, and Kenya's scared to be there by herself. She's shooting caps in people's ass, and people jumping over her fence and stuff, which I heard was staged. I don't damn know. It's just a mess with these women and with these shows. But with that said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at ITSKINGWORLD on Instagram and Twitter. At ITSKINGWORLD89 on Snapchat. Follow me on Snapchat. And Chase King WasHere on Facebook. All right, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. See you guys later. Bye.